Alright, Algebra 1, Chapter 1, Section 2, Order of Operations. Here we go, a super simple lesson. You are probably familiar with the order of operations. You might have learned PEMDAS. I'm going to teach you a little something different today. It's called GEMS. That is G-E-M-S, GEMS. I used to make this foldable. If you want to make one of these, take a sheet of paper, fold it in half, then fold it in half again, and that gives you these doors, and then you can glue it on right back here. Other than that, if you don't want to do that, just take your sheet of paper and draw a line down the middle, and draw another line, and another line, until you have something that looks somewhat like this. In your left section, use a highlighter or a light pencil. G-E-M-S. G stands for grouping symbols. Grouping symbols, the reason I use G instead of P is because there's more than parentheses. We have parentheses, but there's also brackets and braces and absolute value bars, and the one we tend to forget about, the fraction bar. So let's look at evaluating grouping symbols first. We've got parentheses right here. 8 minus 4. That gives us 4. Everything else carries down. So we have 20 minus 3 squared times 4 divided by 2 plus 4. Over here in the green example, we have grouping symbols inside the parentheses. Then we have brackets, and don't forget we have a fraction bar. That fraction bar means do what's on either side first before you do the division. So we have to do 4 plus 6 first. 4 plus 6 gives us 10. 2 plus 3 gives us 5. Plus, now we evaluate what's in the parentheses first, what's on the inside. 3. And then we multiply that by the 3. 3 times 3, and that gives us 9. Divided by 3 squared. Alright, next step. E. E stands for exponents. That's like 3 to the third power, which would mean 3 times 3 times 3, or 7 squared, which is 7 times 7. So then, to evaluate the exponents, we look right here. It looks like negative 3 squared, but notice there are no parentheses around it, so the square only applies to the 3. So that makes that 9. Everything else carries down, so that's 20 minus 9 times 4 divided by 2 plus 4. Somehow this 4 got closed. Over here we have the exponent also 3 squared, so everything else carries down. 10 over 5 plus 9 divided by 9. M stands for multiply and divide. Multiply and divide. So we have like the multiplication symbol. Sometimes we use the dot. You've seen me use a dot here. We can also use parentheses that would indicate a multiplication for dividing. we have the fraction bar, we have the division symbol with a line and 2 dots, or just a colon. Sometimes we use a slash. So this would be like x over 3. We could also write 3x. There's no symbol in between these two. If there's no symbol in between a number and a variable, that implies a multiplication. So then here we have multiplication. Remember, it goes from left to right, and that is very important. You don't multiply before you divide. You go left to right. So here we have this multiplication first, negative 9 divided by 4. Negative 9 times 4. So we have 20, that carries down, minus 36 divided by 2 plus 4. And then over here we have a division. 10 divided by 5 gives us 2. And then a nope, this is also a division. Here we go. This said divided by 9 divided by 9, which is 1. Lastly, S stands for subtract and add. This is also left to right. This is why I use gems, because these are 4 steps. Multiply and divide, that is 1 step left to right. Subtract and add, that is 1 step left to right. So subtract, minus, add, plus. Here we have a subtraction. Oh, looks like there is a step we forgot before we can subtract. 36 divided by 2. 20 minus 18 plus 4. Now we're left with nothing but adding and subtracting. 20 minus 18. This has to happen first. We don't add first. Subtract, because it comes left to right. 2 plus 4, and that gives us 6. And finally, over here, we get 2 plus 1, and that gives us 3. That's about all there is to the order of operations. Gems, 4 steps. Multiply and divide is 1 step left to right. Add and subtract, 1 step left to right.